A great sign appeared in heaven, a woman clothed with the sun, the moon under her feet, and a crown of 12 stars. The image is vivid, glory and authority framed in celestial imagery. 12 stars form the crown, a clear symbolic detail. Most often the woman represents Israel. The 12 stars echo the 12 tribes. Think back to Joseph's dream in Genesis where stars symbolized tribes. Israel is the people through whom the Messiah comes. A literal reading sees the woman as Mary, mother of Jesus, a Marian interpretation. This view emphasizes birth and fulfillment of prophecy. Both readings point to the coming Messiah. Clothed with the sun and the moon under her feet suggest divine favor and authority. These are symbols of exaltation, not literal astronomy. The crown signals a chosen people or honored mother. She is pregnant and crying out in pain as she is about to give birth. Birth pains symbolize the long-awaited arrival of the Messiah and the suffering that precedes it. They point to the tension before fulfillment in Christ. Then another sign, an enormous red dragon with 7 heads, 10 horns, and 7 crowns. The dragon is later identified as Satan, a cosmic adversary. Each detail carries symbolic weight. 7 heads suggest fullness of deceptive authority and cunning. 7 crowns imply a false claim to rulership. 10 horns are often tied to political power or kingdoms. The dragon swept 1/3 of the stars from the sky. This is commonly read as 1/3 of the angels joining the rebellion, the demons, a cosmic diminution of glory. The dragon stands before the woman, poised to devour her child as soon as it is born. This sets the stage for Satan's attempt to destroy the Messiah. Some see this fulfilled in Herod's attempt to kill Jesus after his birth. She gave birth to a son, who is destined to rule with an iron scepter. The iron scepter echoes Psalm 2 and the Messiah's authority. The child was snatched up to God and to his throne, a shorthand for resurrection and ascension. Then the woman fled into the wilderness where God provided a place of protection. The wilderness recalls Exodus, a place of testing and divine care. She is protected for 1,260 days, a symbolic period often read as 3.5 years. This can be read as Israel preserved in a tribulation or the church sheltered spiritually under persecution. Both emphasize divine provision amid threat. The imagery is intentionally flexible. The narrative then moves to a cosmic conflict, Michael and his angels against the dragon. Michael appears as the warrior archangel, a biblical motif in Daniel. We now see the spiritual battle laid out in dramatic terms. The cosmic and the earthly are linked. Victory above impacts protection below. We will now examine the heavenly war, proclamation, and the dragon's attack on earth. Listen for how these events shift focus from heaven to earth. Verses 1-6 summarize the birth and protection of the Messiah's people. Keep Psalm 2, Genesis, and the Nativity context in mind as interpretive keys. Now we continue to the cosmic war and the earthbound assault. Prepare for the next scenes. A decisive heavenly defeat and renewed earthly fury. The story accelerates from victory in heaven to persecution on earth. Part 2 begins now, verses 7-17, the war, the proclamation, and the dragon's pursuit. These verses shift the scene from heaven to earth. Listen closely to the heavenly proclamation that follows. We now move into the decisive war and its aftermath on earth. Continue to part 2. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, a vivid cosmic conflict, symbolic of ultimate spiritual defeat of Satan. The dragon and his angels were cast out of heaven. The dragon is explicitly identified as the ancient serpent, Satan, the accuser. Its defeat in heaven marks a pivotal spiritual turning point. But this defeat pushes the conflict toward the earth. Then a loud voice proclaims salvation, power, and the kingdom of our God. Heaven rejoices because accusations are silenced and victory secured. The proclamation highlights 3 causes of victory: the blood of the Lamb, testimony, and faithfulness unto death. First, the blood of the Lamb, Christ's atoning sacrifice. Second, the testimony of believers, public witness to Christ. Third, their willingness to die rather than renounce faith. As a result, the dragon was hurled down to earth, enraged because his time is short. Satan's fury now turns toward earthly targets. He knows his time is limited. He pursues the woman who had given birth, intent on destroying her offspring. But she is given the wings of a great eagle to fly into the wilderness. The eagle's wings signal divine provision and swift rescue. She is nourished in the wilderness for a time times and half a time, a symbolic 3.5 years. This echoes protective motifs from Israel's history. God's provision sustains her during trial. The dragon spews a river of water to sweep the woman away, symbolic of persecution and deception. This represents overwhelming trouble or mass deception directed at God's people. But the earth swallows the river. Divine intervention frustrates the attack. When that fails, the dragon wages war against the rest of her offspring. The text defines these as those who keep God's commandments and hold to the testimony of Jesus. This describes faithful Christians who endure persecution. The offspring are characterized by obedience and testimony. They keep God's commandments, and they hold to the testimony of Jesus. For study groups, discuss whether the woman is Israel, Mary, or the corporate people of God. Compare cross-references: Genesis, Psalm 2, Daniel, and Gospel narratives. Explore how the imagery shapes hope in persecution. Key takeaways: cosmic victory is assured, but earthly trials persist. Victory rests on Christ's work and sustained witness under trial. Hope and endurance are central themes. Encourage one another. Discuss application and pray for perseverance. Suggested prompts: who is the woman to you? How does the dragon's tactics show up today? What sustains faithful witness? Close in prayer and reflection. In sum, Revelation 12 frames the Messiah's coming, Satan's rage, heavenly victory, and earthly persecution. Victory is won by the Lamb. Believers are called to faithful testimony. May this passage deepen your hope and resolve. References: Revelation 12, see Psalm 2, Genesis 37, Daniel 7, Luke, and John for cross-reference. If this helped your group, subscribe for more study walkthroughs. Thanks for watching. Study together, pray together, stand together.